It's time to make some donuts with Mrs. Rodenbaugh. In today's art class, we're going to do two different designs of donuts. So you want a couple sheets of paper, pencils, markers, water, and a paintbrush. I'm going to start by drawing kind of a big round oval, and you want to make sure that you're drawing from your shoulder and not from your wrist, so you really get a good design. And you can make this as big as you want on your page. This is the outside edge of the donut. Next, I'm going to draw in the center of a donut a curved line going up like a smiley face. And then connecting to that line in the middle of it, I'm going to do a curved line going down like a sad face. This gives us that hole in the center of the donut and makes that appearance as if it's 3D. In the next part, I'm going to add icing going around it. And since we're looking at the donut a little bit from the side, the back edge of the donut is going to be the back edge of the icing. Then I'm going to move around with a wavy line coming down, and you don't want this to be exactly the same because icing isn't going to drip exactly the same coming around. From there, you can add sprinkles if you'd like on top of your donut. And then a face. Now, my face on my donut's off to the side a little bit because I didn't allow a lot of room underneath. And you can skip the face part if you want, but I know this makes it look extra cute. One of the important parts of drawing one of those faces is to leave those highlights in the eyes. So once you make those two little round eyes, do a large oval and a smaller oval inside that eye. Adding a happy face and cheeks to either side completes your cute Kwai donut. And now it's time to color. Our next project is going to look like a donut where you're looking straight down on the donut. So you're going to draw two circles, one large one on the outside and one on the inside of that first circle. Now, it doesn't need to be perfect circles, but if you'd like, you could use the bottle cap and a lid of something to make those. Once you have those two items drawn, you're going to add the icing. So I'm going to start at the outer edge, and some of my icing is going to touch the edge of my donut and some of it's not. Again, icing isn't going to drip perfectly, so we shouldn't be attempting to make these even waves. Some are going to be smaller, some are going to be wider, and you're going to complete that all the way around the circle on that outside line. And then around that smaller circle, you're going to make it appear as if it's dripping inside the circle. I am eventually going to put sprinkles on this, but I'm going to wait until I'm done coloring. The next part is where we're going to use markers, water, and a paintbrush. So I chose two different shades of pink, a raspberry and a dark, that's a dark pink, and a lighter pink. If you only have one, that's fine too, we can work with that. So this dark raspberry color, I'm going to place along the outside edge of my icing because icing is going to look like it's going down in shadow, but I didn't just trace all the way around or else that marker kind of seems to overpower the space. And I did this on the inside as well. Then I'm going to take another line that's somewhat close to the raspberry line with that lighter pink and go around in that circle. This allows me to blend the two colors and allow it to get lighter as it moves towards the middle of the icing. I do that same light pink around the inside edge as well, but you really don't need as much as I put down. I found when I was blending it, it was really a little too close together to really get that light to dark shade. Now I'm going to dip my paintbrush in a little bit of water and pat it on the paper towel because you don't want a lot of water. I'm going to gently start pulling my dark pink into my light pink. And you want to make sure that it's pulling into the direction that you want the color, or else you're just going to end up with runny marker. And I'm going to do this all the way around the edge of the donut, leaving a little bit of a white ring. And then I'm going to do it from the inside of the donut towards the middle. your paintbrush is collecting marker, so every once in a while you want to wipe it off and kind of clean it out, or else your marker is going to start getting really, really dark. I'm going to continue doing that around the outside. I'm going to add just a little bit of water just to lighten it so it doesn't look like I have as hard of an edge either. But that middle part of that donut, we really want it to stay as light as possible because it's going to give us that nice highlight. As you go around that inside circle, pulling back out from the donut, be sure that you're pulling in the correct direction. You want that outer edge to go in and that inner edge to go out. So they meet in the middle, and the lightest part of your donut should be in between those two wavy lines. Now, as my icing's drying, or you might want to let it dry before you go on to the next step, I'm going to start on the actual donut part. I wanted a vanilla donut, so I'm going to outline the outer edge in a brown, and then I'm going to add some yellow to those bigger areas to allow the brown and yellow to blend to give me that beautiful kind of vanilla look to it. If you wanted to make your donut chocolate, you could do this by doing brown with a little bit of black to blend in with the brown. Continue with adding the donut color just as I did the icing, where I'm taking a little tiny bit of water on a brush and pulling that brown up into that yellow to blend them together. And I'm going to do that on the inside of the donut as well. Once I have that area complete and done, I'm going to let it dry a little bit before moving on to the next step. So once the icing is dry, you can then begin to add sprinkles to it with markers of whatever colors you want your sprinkles, and your donut is pretty much done at this point. If you want your donut to pop off the page a little bit more, you can add a shadow. I took a blue marker to my paper towel and colored in, and then just touched it a little bit with my wet paintbrush and added that to the inside of the donut and then around one edge of the donut. Once that's dry, those edges where I added that shadow, I added a little bit more brown marker just to the very edge to make it really look like it's turned.